What does that even mean, Bowers Game Corner?
Ahoy there, YouTube! I'm back again today for another game review. And today I'm very excited to check out Shirt Tales card game from Milton Bradley. This is for 2 to 4 players, ages 6 to 10. Yes, you 11-year-olds, stop watching this video right now. And it'll probably take about, 10 to 20 minutes to play. And in a Shirt Tales card game, this is a simple card game based off a presumably Saturday morning television show from the 1980s or 70s. I've never seen the show, but is the card game good? It's light, it's simple, it's for children, should be fun, right? Let's open it up and see what it's like. Alright then, we're going to take a look at what you're going to get inside of Shirt Tales. So first and foremost, we're going to a handy dandy rule sheet. One small page, double-sided, black and white, no pictures or illustrations or anything like that, but it's still very well done. It should have you up and running in no time at all. It's also a very simple game, so I can teach you how to play right now. So in Shirt Tales, you and up to 3 other players are going to be trying to acquire 2 of these little standees right here. If you get 2 of these guys, you will win the game. You will acquire these by winning hands, and in order to win hands, you are going to have a set of 5, either of a specific color of shirt or a specific character. Let's go over the components, then we'll get in the gameplay. It'll all make sense. So first component-wise, you're going to get the 5 characters up here. They just count as victory points, so to speak. You're also going to get this little thing right here, which is to hold your cards, which is completely unnecessary, but I like it. I'm a fan of it. It's very nice. It keeps everything nice in place. But the main star of the show are going to be these cards right here. So let's take a look at the cards and show you how you can win. So in order to win, you need to get 5 of the same color. So for instance, 5 different animals with the same colored shirt, like the green ones right here, or 5 of the same animals. So right here, I would have 3 of the 5 animals that I needed because I would have the 3 tigers. There's also 2 other kinds of cards in the game. First, you have the Commissioner and Mr. Dinkle, which are bad cards. I'm assuming they're from the television show. But they're bad cards. They just clog up your hand. You don't want to have them. They don't count for any colors or animals. And then you also have 2 wild cards. So this is the wild shirt card, so you can use this as any color shirt. And there also is a wild animal card, which you can obviously use as any animal you would like. So at the beginning of the game, each player is going to get 5 cards in their hand. And one important rule I want to mention is that you have to have exactly 5 cards in your hand if you would like to win the round. So let's take a look at our hand and see what we got. So, wow, we got a very interesting starting hand. We got 1 bad card. We got 2 really good cards, but we don't want those both at the same time. And then we also have 2 pink shirts here, so we got lots of choices. So, at the beginning of the game, you're going to flip over the top card as per a lot of other games, but it is going to be a little bit different. So, let's walk you through the 4 different actions you will be able to do on your turn. Now, you can only do 1 action per turn, but you can choose from any one of these 4 actions. So, the first action you can do is you can take the top card from the deck, and then you can discard 1 card. So let's take the top card from the deck, see what it is, and then the obvious choice is to discard Mr. Dinkle. So we'll discard Mr. Dinkle right here, bada boom, and that would be our entire turn. Very simple turn. Now, the next option you can do is you can exchange 1 or 2 cards with any opponent. Now, this is really interesting. This is unlike a lot of children's game. So essentially, what you're going to do is you're going to get rid of 2 of your cards, and you're going to slide them over to someone else. Now, obviously, at this point, I don't know what I'm doing. So let's just get crazy here and, I don't know, do that one. Let's just say we're going to go commit to the pink. So we would slide these 2 cards over to this player. They don't get to look at them, and then they are going to give us back 2 cards, and then hopefully that helped us out. In this case, it didn't help us out at all. It actually really kind of hurt us. But now this player would have those 2 cards. We don't get to discard, but you can exchange 1 or 2 cards with someone else. The next option you can take is you can take cards from the discard pile. So let's actually set a couple more out here so we can do a better example. So in this particular example, I probably would just want the pink card. So if that's the case, I would just take the pink card and then boom, I would discard 1 card down. So I might put this purple one right here. But the way this works is you can take any card from the discard pile. And you'll notice we're not stacking them on top of each other because I could take this card if I wanted. But if I take this card, I also have to take this card as well. Likewise, if I wanted to take these 2 blue cards, because I think, maybe I'm going for blue shirts, I have to take all 4 of these cards. So it's a really interesting choice there, especially for kids, on whether or not they want to take cards out of the middle, because what taking cards out of the middle much of the time will do is it makes you go over the 5 card limit. So if you decide to take cards from the discard pile, then you would then discard. So obviously I'd probably get rid of this Mr. Dinkle right here. Now the last action you can do on your turn, and you absolutely have to do on your turn, is if you have more than 5 cards, you essentially do not get a turn. The only thing you get to do is discard. So, you know, I might have picked up some really good stuff out of here. I might have picked up 3 cards that I really needed that might actually give me that 5 of a kind. I can't actually win until I have only 5 cards in my hand. So that would be my entire turn right there, as I discard that, and everyone else would do their thing. And then I would discard once again. So when you have more than 5 cards in your hand, you cannot trade, you cannot exchange, you cannot discard, or you cannot draw cards or do anything like that. But anywho, once someone does get 5 of a kind, either of animals or of shirt colors, they're going to win one of these tokens right here, whichever one. They're all pretty much the same, just with different images. And then you're going to reshuffle in real deal, and the first person to get to 2 of these in front of them will be the winner of Shirt Tails. And that, in a nutshell, is how the game is played. Alrighty then, Shirt Tails from Milton Bradley. What are my final thoughts? Let's go over the pros, let's go over the cons. First, on the con side, game's not going to be for a variety of different reasons. 2 to 4 players, restricted player count. I also liked it best at 3 and 4 players because there was more trading. You would eventually run out of cards and then be forced to trade in order for someone to win the game. Now that being said, I still liked it at 2 players, and I'll talk more about that in the pros, but yes, I liked it best at 3 and 4 players. Another con that I have with this game is you have to go into it knowing it's light, knowing it's simple, knowing it is a simple children's game. But yeah, obviously you probably could have figured that one out by the box, and by the fact it's Milton Bradley, and by the fact that it says for ages 6 to 10, which just boggles my mind, because spoiler, I enjoyed playing this. But any other cons that I have with this? Oh, it's out of print. It's probably stupidly, wildly out of print. So I'm about to tell you that it's a fantastic game. Yeah, but it's a great children's game. You weren't expecting that, were you? Neither was I. But let's keep focusing on the cons. I don't really have too many. Just the small player count. Moving on to the pros. Holy moly! I was blown away by Shirt Tails, the card game. Yeah, I'm saying that. This isn't a joke. Seriously. Wow. This is so. Let me just do a little meta here. This is why I love still reviewing old games like this that I pick up at thrift shops and Goodwills and stuff like that, and garage sales, because I went into this and I brought it into my classroom and played it with a bunch of 6, 7, 8, 9, 10-year-olds, actually the target age range, and they loved this game. And I had fun playing this game and watching them play this game and watching them try to strategically think about this game, because this game does a lot really well. So first and foremost, the cards are bright and colorful. I'm sure if the IP made any sense to any of the kids, they would have liked it even more. But yes. Next, the rule set is very simple. On your turn, you have 3 actions to choose from and a potential 4th action that you always have to do if you have more than 5 cards. So it's very easy to learn. It's very easy to teach. The components are very nice. The cards are perfectly serviceable. They're a little bit on the thin side, but I can attribute that to age. It also comes with a nice little thing to hold your cards, which is completely unnecessary. And it comes with these as victory points, which is also, once again, completely unnecessary, but for kids, that makes it better. It's easy enough that I can say that this is a children's game, where children by themselves could play this game, but it's also fun enough, and you know, obviously it is a family game as well, but it's also fun enough that family members are not going to hate this game, because there is a little bit of gaminess to this game. Very surprisingly, you expect 1980s TV cash-in card games from Milton Bradley to be horrible and to have 0 strategy and be 100% luck. And while yes, that is a comment I forgot to mention, there definitely is some luck in this game, especially with what cards you draw and what your starting hand is. But you kind of expect that a lot with children's game. But there's still ways to mitigate that luck. I really enjoyed the trading aspect, and the kids loved that trading aspect, and that they thought it was just so hilarious to pass Mr. Dinkle and the commissioner around. And that is really cool. And I also like the fact that the choices they're making are not your typical choices. It's like, yes, I can take these cards out of the middle that I know are going to help me. But if I do that, that means that for the next few turns, I will be doing nothing except giving other people cards that might help them. That's the kind of choice that you don't expect in children's game, and I like that. Not to mention trading. I love trading in games. I think it's part of the reason why Settlers Catan is one of the most popular games on the planet and still continues to be, because people naturally love trading. But in children's game, you do not see too much trading. And the trading in this game is fun. And the children really enjoy trading in the game and passing stuff and just gambling like, oh, this might be the card, this might be the card. And that excitement, it's like the excitement of opening up like a CCG pack. Like, maybe this is the card that I've been looking for. And the kids really enjoy that. I like the fact that the game itself, there's not too many wilds. Like, this is kind of an unforgiving game. Like, if a kid goes for a specific path, and that path is one that they cannot reach because someone else maybe has that card and they're not going to pass it up, then they're not going to win this round. But there's ways that they can mitigate that, and I still liked it. And I'm rambling at this point, but I got to tell you, for the three of you who are going to watch this video probably because of the nature of the game, this is a really great game. If you're sitting in a thrift store and you're still looking at this game, count to make sure that the proper amount of cards is in the game, and then pick this up because you and your kids, yes, you and your kids are going to have a lot of fun with this game, and some other publisher needs to pick this game up, strip away the Shirt Tails theme, presumably. I'm guessing you probably want to do that, and then turn this into some other game because gameplay-wise, this is a very enjoyable game, and I can highly recommend Shirt Tails the card game if you ever can find it, which you probably can't, which is unfortunate. But, surprisingly, yes, Shirt Tails the card game, big thumbs up from me. If you enjoyed this video, please try to click on that subscribe button down below in the comments below. Let me know what's the last really super duper old game you played. And super duper old, I mean in board game terms, like 80s, maybe early 90s or something like that, that surprisingly caught you off guard and you really enjoyed. For me personally, it was The Dark Tower. My buddy Brandon, who did the top 100 list this year with me, was like, you need to try this game. It's my favorite game of all time. We tried it, and I was very pleasantly surprised. I really hope somebody redoes that game, change the theme, because that was also really done well as well. But let me know in the comments below, what is the last older game that you played that just wowed you because it didn't stink? And as always, thanks for your time, YouTube.